the difference between them. The first one is the angle of elevation. If an observer A observed an object C above his horizontal side, then the angle between the ray AB and the ray AC connecting between the observer I and the observed object is called angle of elevation. So angle CAB or measure angle CAB is angle of elevation. The second one, the angle of depression. If an observer A observed an object C, then the angle between the ray AB and the ray AC connecting between the observer I and the observed object is called angle of depression. With respect of point C with respect to A. Open Scott page 154. We begin with exercise number 2. Exercise number 2 called, say, a man found that the angle of elevation of the top of the minaret, this is a minaret, and this man found the angle of elevation of this top of minaret 42 meter distance from its base. This is the base of minaret, and this is the top of this minaret. What is the height of the minaret to the nearest meter? First, you remember this, the previous lesson is solving the right angle triangle. How can I find the height here? The tangent for angle 52 is equal to the opposite side over adjacent side. The opposite side here is what? Is the height of this minaret. And what about the adjacent side? The adjacent side equals 42 meters. How can I find the height here? By multiplying 42 by tangent 52. So the height equals 42 times tangent 52 equal 53.75. But here you want the answer to the nearest meter. So the answer here to the nearest meter or to the nearest unit. 53.75 equals 53 equal 54. Why? Because 7 is rich number and give 1 to 3, so the answer 54. The second exercise number 3. Said that a mountain of a height 1,820 meters. It's observed from its top that the measure of depression angle of a point on the ground was 68. This is a mountain of a height 1,820 meters. And then it is observed from the top. This is the top, and this is the observer's eye. Okay? And the angle of a point on ground was 68. This is the angle 68 is angle of depression. And you know that angle DAC is angle of depression equal angle ACB. Why? Because these are alternate angles. Look, AD side parallel to CB. So the measure of angle ACB equals the measure of angle DAC. Why? Because these are alternate angles. So this angle equals 68. How can I find the distance between the point and the observer? The distance from this point, C, here is the point, and the observer I is A. How can I find AC? AC here is the triangle ABC is the hypotenuse. How can I find the AC's hypotenuse side? Look, what is the sign of 68? Sine of 68 equal opposite side over the hypotenuse side. The opposite side is AB, or the height of this mountain equal 1,820 meters over the hypotenuse AC. How can I find AC? AC equal what? Equal 1,820 divided by sine 68. The answer will be 1,687.47. But here we want to do the nearest meter. Look to the unit here, is 7. And the previous number is 4. And this number is poor number. Doesn't give 1 to 7. So the answer is 1,687 meters. Another exercise is exercise number 4. The upper end of a ladder A rests on a vertical wall. This is the vertical wall AB, and this is a ladder rests on this wall. It's 3.8 meters from the surface of the ground. 3.8 is the upper point, is about 3.8 from the surface. This is the surface. Ground is 38 meters. And he rests on horizontal ground. If the angle of inclination, this is the angle of inclination, ACB. ACB is the angle of inclination of a ladder with the horizontal plane or horizontal surface. Is 64. Find to the nearest hundredths each of the distance between the lower point and the wall. This is the lower point C for this ladder. How can I find the distance between the point C and the lower point P? How can I find the X? Remember the previous lesson, solving the right angle triangle. How can I get X? Here 64, I can find tan 64 or tangent of this angle 64. Tan 64 equal what? The opposite side over adjacent side. The opposite side here is 3.8 meters. And the adjacent side is CB or X. Tan 64 equals 3.8 over X. How can I find the X? By dividing 3.8 by the tangent of 64. X equals 3.8 divided tan 64 equal 1.853. But he wants the answer to the nearest hundredth. So I look to the hundredth digit. The hundredth digit is 5. And the previous number is 3, and the 3 is a poor number, doesn't give 1 to 5. So the last answer is 1.85 meters. And the second, the length of the ladder. The length of the ladder here is AC, and AC here in this right angle triangle is the hypotenuse for this triangle. How can I find the AC? If I want to find the AC, remember the previous lesson, you can get the sign for 64. The sign for this angle equal what? Equals the opposite side over the hypotenuse side AC. Look, sine 64 equal. The opposite here is 3.8 divided by the hypotenuse side AC. How can I find the AC here from this equation? AC equals 3.8 divided by what? By sine 64. The answer is 4.227 meters. But he wants this answer to the nearest hundredth. So I look to the hundredth digit is 2. The previous number is 7, and 7 is rich number. Give 1 to this number 2. So the last number, or the last answer is 4.23 meters. And then exercise, we solve exercise number 5. From the top of the surface of a house, 8 meters. This house, the height of this house is 8 meters. A person found that the elevation angle, this is the elevation angle, is 63. What is the elevation angle here? This is the horizontal line. And this is angle DBC is called angle of elevation. Between the observer eye and the observed point is the top of this opposite house. And he said the angle and the observed depression angle of its base, this is the base, and this is the top of this house. It was 28. Angle CB. CBX is angle of depression. He wants the height of the building to the nearest meter. He wants the height for this opposite building to the nearest meter. How can I find this? Look, the height of the opposite building is 8 meters. So the distance XC equal to distance AB equal 8 meters. And what about the rest? CD, how can I get it? Firstly, I look to the triangle CBX and I'll get the distance CB, the horizontal distance CB. How can I get it? This triangle PCX is a right angle triangle. If I want to find CB, the horizontal distance, you will substitute in this equation. Tangent for this angle equal what? Equals the opposite side over what? Over the adjacent side CB. The opposite side is 8 meters and the adjacent side is equal to CB. How can I find CB? CB equal what? Equal 8 divided by tangent of 28. The answer is 15.045 meters. And then, how can I get the distance CD? If the height of this building is h and cx is 8, So the remainder CD is h minus 8. So tangent of 63, the tangent for this angle DBC, look to this angle DBC. What is the tangent for this angle TBC? The tangent is the opposite side DC over what? Over the adjacent side CB. And I found it previously. How can I get it? Look, tangent for 63 is what? Is the opposite side CD or h minus 8 divided by what? Divided by the adjacent side CB. And you'll get it before. It tangent 63 equal h minus 8 over 15.045. How can I get h minus 8? Multiply 15.05 by 1063. The answer, it will be 29.529. And then, I want to find the height of this opposite. Tell me, h equal, move the number 8 to the other side and change the sign, or transpose negative 8 to the other side. The answer, it will be what? 29.529 plus 8 equal what? 37.529. But he wants here the height to the nearest meter. So I look to the unit digit. As the previous number here is 5, and 5 here is a rich number, and give 1 to 7. So the last answer, it will be 38 meters.